everyone. Hi Ayana, hi Neha, hi Shashank, hi Dinesh, hi Rising Star, hi Aarti, hi Gunja, hi Astha, hi Nandana, hi Gauravi, hi Soham. So hi all of you. This is Sheetal Chaudhary, your accounts master teacher, and I welcome you all to Vedantu Commerce. We all are here for a better future. Hi Navya, hi lover cute boy, hi Suryanshi, hi Deepika, hi Kumkum, Soumya, Navya, Sai. Hi all of you. So guys, let me tell you that तबीयत बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है. I am having severe headache, but still I don't want to affect your study. So please be nice with me today. Hi Roshan, hi Pratim, hi everyone. I hope that you all are taking care of yourself. So, yes Pratim, COVID ही है. Yes Soham, the playlist are already created. Sure Ayana. Yes, cartoons I will take. Hi Roshan. So let's start this session with some positive thoughts. All progress takes place outside the comfort zone. So if you want to have progress, then you have to come out of your comfort zone. आपको अपनी comfort zone से बाहर आना पड़ेगा. So guys, today we will be doing part 2 of basic accounting term. Yesterday we have covered 4 or 5 accounting term. Now we will be continuing that chapter. So if you guys are new to our channel, or if you are watching me for the first time, then please take a moment to subscribe to our channel so that you can watch daily live session with us. Also make sure that you hit the like button below and you share it along with your friends. So like, share and subscribe. And if you want to receive all our notes in the Telegram, in the PDF form, then please join us on Telegram group Vedantu Commerce. So this is your today's schedule. After my session, you will be having one more session of mathematics. So do join Aditya sir at 8 p.m. And this is class 11th batch. This is accountancy class 11th session. And today we will be continuing our chapter number 2, basic accounting terms. Basic accounting terms. Now before starting the session, let me tell you the rules of the session. If you want to watch the session till the end, then you have to follow these rules. Please don't talk to each other in comments box, otherwise we have to block you. Like I can see students saying hello, hi to each one of you. So please stop talking to each other because here you are to study, guys. Then rule number 2, please only ask doubts related to the topic that are discussed in the session. So please don't ask any other doubts that are irrelevant to the session. So please follow these rules if you want to see this session till the end. I won't repeat them again and again, guys. Pradeep, we are really sorry, but we can't change the timings. I want you to be attentive in the session as it is going to be a little lengthy, and also I won't repeat the terms more than twice. I will repeat every term twice, but not more than twice. Please be attentive, guys. Please be attentive. So this is our lecture 2 of basic accounting terms. Yesterday we have discussed what is transaction, what is capital, what is drawing, and what are liabilities. Yesterday we have discussed all these 4 terms. So now we will be discussing some few other terms. आज हम बाकी की terms करेंगे. Aarti, you will get it at 8 p.m. in your Telegram group. So these are the terms that we will learn today in this session. We will learn assets, revenue, expenditure, income, expenses, profit, gain, and loss. So these are the 8 terms that we will do in this session. So let's start this session, guys. And if we are not able to complete all these terms today, then we will do that in next session. So let's start this session with one of the very common term, that is asset. Yes, we have done accounts also yesterday. So this asset is a very common term. क्योंकि अगर हम कॉमर्स के स्टूडेंट हैं, so everyone will ask you, tell me student, what is asset and liability? So asset and liability, these are the very famous terms of accountants. We have already discussed liability yesterday, and today we will discuss what is asset. What is asset? So asset क्या होते हैं? तो पहले हिंदी में पढ़ते हैं, फिर इंग्लिश में आएंगे, then we will come to English. बिजनेस के पास जो भी है, anything that a business own, it is known as asset. So business के पास जो भी है, it is known as asset. Whatever you own, it is known as asset. I have a notebook, that is my asset. I have calculator, that is my asset. My water bottle, it is my asset. So whatever I own, it is my asset. So what are assets? These are the properties owned by business which are used to carry out business operation. And earning operating revenue. You use them for the business operation and you generate revenue through them. So your car, your home, your house, your building, everything is what? It is asset. So the simple definition is anything owned by business. Anything owned by business is what? It is an asset. Aarti, as I have already told you, I will not repeat any term more than twice. Okay? So please be attentive. They are used in business, Asta. They are used to carry out business operation. So they are used in business. Aarti, there are 46 students. If every student will have network issue, then the teacher will keep on repeating one term. So please make sure that your network is stable when you are watching the live session. Okay? Recorded session देख सकते हैं. Those who are having network issues, don't worry. You can see the recorded session later. So what do you mean by asset? These are the properties owned by business. Now, assets, they are divided into different types. Assets are divided into different types. So it can be classified into non-current asset, current asset and fictitious asset. Assets are divided into different types: non-current asset, current asset and fictitious asset. So assets are divided into non-current, current and fictitious asset. Now what is the meaning of non-current asset? What do you mean by current asset? What do you mean by fictitious asset? So what are these assets? इनका मतलब क्या है? So what is non-current asset? What is current asset? What is fictitious asset? Let's see the meaning of all of them. Non-current asset, they are also known as long-term asset. Non-current asset, they are also known as long-term asset. So non-current asset, these are those assets which are held in the business for a long-term use. We are holding these assets for a long-term use for the business purpose. So what are non-current assets? These are used for carrying out normal business operation. We are using these assets so that we can carry our business operation, and they are held in business not for the purpose of reselling. We will not resell these assets. We will use them continuously again and again in the business. For example, furniture in the business, land and building, plant and machinery, they all are non-current assets because we will not sell our furniture. We will not sell plant and machinery. We will use it in the business for a long time for business operation. So these are non-current assets. Like machine, yes. So non-current asset, they are used for carrying out business operation, and they are held in the business not for the purpose of reselling but to increase the earning capacity. They are in the business to increase the earning capacity. Now we are clear with the non-current asset that they are long-term asset. These non-current asset, they are long-term asset that will be used in the business for a long time. Now these non-current asset, it is further divided into different types. These non-current asset, yes Astha, land is also asset. Vehicles are also non-current asset. But we will later sell in future in case we are shifting to another business. That is a different case. Salma, that is different case. Shifting, you do not do it regularly. Not every business will shift to another place. Hi Kiran, hi Sushant. So non-current asset, they are further divided into fixed asset, non-current investment, long-term loan, advances and non-current asset. So your non-current asset, it is further divided into different types. Non-current asset is further divided into different types. Now there is a very common term known as fixed asset. There is a very common term known as fixed asset. Virat, with asset you can increase your earning capacity. That is the opportunity available. But assets can be used in the business. If these can't be sold, then how they are asset? They can be sold. We are not saying that they can't be sold. We are saying that they are not for the purpose of reselling. Because if you will sell them, how will you produce goods and services? So they are not for the purpose of resale, but they can be sold in the market. So these are two different terms. Vijay, I have not talked anything about trade receivable. So please leave it for now. So guys, please don't ask irrelevant questions. You have started asking them. Coming on to fixed assets. What are the different types of non-current asset? As I have already told you, Soham, in the paragraph, these are the different types of non-current asset. Fixed asset, non-current investment, long-term loan, advances, other non-current asset. Now coming on to fixed asset. Now fixed asset, they are similar to non-current asset. Fixed asset, they are similar to non-current asset because it is a part of non-current asset. Fixed asset, it is a part of non-current asset. So these are those assets which are not held in the business for reselling. Fixed asset, they are fixed. You will not sell them. You will use in the business for a long time. So fixed asset are those assets which are not held for reselling. आप इनको बेचोगे नहीं, but they are held for a long term. You will use them in business for a long time to increase the earning capacity of the business. Like vehicles, you will use it for a long time. Like plant and machinery, you will use it for a long time. So they are fixed assets. So your plant and machinery, your land and building, your furniture, your vehicle, they all are fixed assets. And the fixed asset, they are again divided into two types. Fixed assets are further divided into two types: tangible asset and intangible asset. Fixed asset is further divided into two types: tangible asset and intangible asset. Now this is very important. What is tangible asset? What is the intangible asset? What is tangible asset? What is intangible asset? So tangible asset is the asset which we can see, which we can touch, which we can feel. Tangible asset, it is that asset which we can see, which we can touch, and which we can feel. Like car, you can touch it, you can see it, you can feel it. Car, you can touch, you can see. Intangible asset are those assets which we cannot see, which we cannot touch. Like trademark, star gold, you can just see it, you cannot touch it. Star gold, we can just hear it. हम सिर्फ सुन सकते हैं star gold, we cannot touch it, we cannot feel it. So star gold, it is intangible asset. Harshdeep, it is an asset because it is name of the brand. It is asset. Goodwill, your reputation, it is also your asset. So goodwill, it is also intangible asset. Goodwill, trademark, they all are asset. So this star gold, it is trademark, it is asset, it is intangible asset. So there are two types of fixed asset: tangible, which we can see and which we can touch; intangible asset, which we cannot see, which we cannot touch. You cannot feel intangible asset. Any channel is asset, yes. Bank loan is a liability, बच्चा, it is not asset. अगर आप लोन लेते हो, it is liability, not asset. So assets which have physical existence, asset those exist physically, जो physically exist करते हैं, those are tangible asset. An asset which do not have physical existence, they are intangible asset. So asset which we can see, which we can touch, they are tangible. An asset which cannot be seen and which cannot be touched, they are intangible asset. Like patent, formula of producing something, you cannot see that formula. So patent, it is intangible. Goodwill, reputation of a business, we cannot see that. So these are intangible assets. So tangible asset, they have physical existence. Intangible asset, they do not have physical existence. So these are different types of asset. These are different types of asset. Virat, you ask a lot of irrelevant questions. Please stop it. So Vedantu logo, it is also a intangible asset. The Vedantu logo, it also intangible asset. Now coming on to the current asset. Current asset, they are also known as short-term asset. Current asset, they are also known as short-term asset. Now, what is the meaning of this current asset? So, current asset, these are those assets which are held on short-term basis. It is held in the business for short term. ये थोड़े टाइम के लिए business में है and they are held for the purpose of converting them in cash. We can easily convert them into cash. We can easily sell these assets. So current asset, these are those assets which are held for short-term basis and we can easily convert them into cash. We can easily sell them. So some examples of current asset are debtors, stock. These are your current assets. So current asset, these are those assets which are held for short-term basis because they are also known as short-term asset. What is stock, guys? So the goods which are not sold. हमने अपनी दुकान में बहुत सारा सामान रखा होता है, so that is known as stock. All the goods lying in the business, they are known as stock. Business में जो भी सामान पड़ा है वो stock होता है. Piyush, if I take pencil from my friend and give him money and I just sold that pencil to someone, so yes, it will be current asset. It will be current asset, Piyush. Yes, the goods which are sold by shopkeeper, they are also current asset. Debtors, we will do this very soon. This is also one of the basic terms. So debtors, we will do very soon. Now, your prepaid expenses are also classified as current asset. Sorry, prepaid expenses, they are also current asset. Now, what is a prepaid expense? What is prepaid expense? So, expenses paid in advance. If any expense is paid in advance, that is known as prepaid expense. For example, you have paid salary in advance. You paid salary in advance. So that is prepaid expense. तो अगर कोई भी खर्चा आपने एडवांस में पे कर दिया है, that is prepaid expense. All the expenses paid in advance are known as prepaid expense. It can be either paid by shopkeeper or customer because both of them will have their own expenses. Shopkeeper can also pay his expenses in advance. Customer can also pay his expenses in advance. So anyone can have prepaid expenses. Piyush, postpaid is not in your syllabus. Only prepaid expense is a part of your syllabus. And I have told you the meaning of prepaid. It means paid in advance. And how it can be a prepaid expense? Because you have paid it in advance. So a part of benefit is available for next year. आपने कोई खर्चा एडवांस में पे कर दिया है. We have paid some expense in advance. So the benefit will be receivable from that. हमें उससे benefit लेना है. So something is receivable in return of that. Therefore, it is an asset. Therefore, it is an asset. Harshdeep, there are no pros and cons of prepaid expense. हमारे पास chapter नहीं है. We want to know the meaning only. The pro and cons is not in your syllabus. Land is a non-current asset, Upendra. I have told you at the time of non-current asset that land, it is non-current asset, not current asset. Now coming on to the last fictitious asset. What is fictitious asset, guys? What is fictitious asset? So please listen to me carefully. I am going to explain this with example and I won't repeat it again, guys. I won't repeat this again. What is fictitious asset? For example, I paid advertisement expense. I paid advertisement expense of 1 lakh rupees. I paid advertisement expense of 1 lakh rupees. Now, मैं ये सारा खर्चा एक बार में नहीं दिखाऊंगी. I will not show this as expense in 1 year because this is of huge amount. This is expense and this is of huge amount. So what I will do, I will show it as expense. मैं इसको खर्चा दिखाऊंगी. I will show it as expense 20,000 this year and 80,000 I will record as asset. 80,000 I will record as asset because I will get the benefit of it in the upcoming year also. I will get the benefit of advertisement in upcoming year also. So some part I will show as my kharcha, as my expense, and remaining part I will show as asset. So this advertisement, this is not an asset actually. In reality, it is not an asset. It is expense. But I am showing it as asset because I will receive the benefit in future also. So advertisement expense, these are losses or expenses of huge amount which has to be shown as an asset and they are known as fictitious asset. So fictitious asset, they are neither tangible. These are those assets which are neither tangible and nor intangible. ना तो ये tangible होते हैं, ना intangible होते हैं. These are losses not written off in the year in which they are incurred. These are expenses or losses जिनको आपने उस साल में write off नहीं किया. Astha, please don't ask it again and again. I have already answered that question and when you were not present in the session. So please, when I am completing something, let me complete it. Don't spam the chat box, guys. So what are fictitious assets? These are losses of huge amount which are not written off. You have not recorded it in the P&L account. You are not recording it as expense. You are showing it as an asset. So fictitious asset, in real, these are not asset. These are expenses. These are expenses of huge amount. So what are fictitious assets? These are not assets. These are not assets in real. These are expenses or losses of huge amount. So this is the meaning of fictitious asset. As there is no difference between fictitious asset and tangible asset. Guys, fictitious asset, you cannot classify them as tangible or intangible. The first line, it says that they are neither tangible nor intangible. So please don't think about it that whether they are tangible or intangible, because we can't classify them either into tangible or intangible. They are neither tangible nor intangible. ना तो tangible होते हैं ना intangible होते हैं. These are losses of huge amount that we are not recording as expense. ये बड़े amount के खर्चे होते हैं, बड़े amount के loss होते हैं, which are not recording in one year. We will divide it into different year and record as asset. So yes, you can call it as window dressing also. You can consider that as window dressing. So now we have covered all the types of asset. Non-current asset, current asset, fictitious asset, tangible asset, intangible asset, fixed asset. We are covered with all the types of asset. And coming on to the next term, that is, yes, I know that fictitious asset is a complicated term. Now coming to the next term, receipt, which is, maybe most of you know about it. What is receipt? What is receipt, guys? When we receive money, it is known as receipt. Vijay, you said that I didn't understand the concept, and I'll reply that I have already explained the terms twice and thrice. Even if it is not clear, then you have to see the recorded session. Okay, Vijay? So what is receipt, guys? When we receive money, that is known as receipt. When we receive money, it is known as receipt. So receipt, it is the amount which is received or receivable for selling goods, selling services or selling assets. तो अगर आपको कोई पैसा मिला है या मिलना है, if any amount is received or it will be received in future, that is known as receipt. So what is receipt? It is the amount received or receivable in future. Or receivable in future. Receiving of money is only known as receipt, and receiving of anything is known as receipt. Receiving of anything is not known as receipt. But only when you receive cash, it is known as a receipt. So it is the amount which is received either by selling goods or services or assets. Now the receipt, they are divided into two types, revenue receipt and capital receipt. Now the receipt, they are divided into two types. Receipt, it is divided into two types, revenue receipt and capital receipt. Revenue receipt means the money which we receives regularly. The money which we receives regularly. For example, sale of goods. You sell goods on regular basis. हम goods daily बेचते हैं. If I am shopkeeper, I will sell goods daily. So this is a regular receipt for me. So regular receipt, revenue receipt means if you are receiving something regularly, that is revenue receipt. So revenue receiving regularly. Capital receipt means the money which is not received regularly. The money which is not received regularly, which is not received regularly. For example, I am selling my old furniture. If I am selling my old furniture and receiving money, that is not revenue receipt, that is capital receipt. Because I will not sell my old furniture regularly. I will not sell my old furniture, my old plant and machinery, old vehicle regularly. So revenue receipt, the money which is received regularly. Capital receipt means the money which is not received regularly. So yes, selling of vegetable by a shopkeeper and earning money is revenue receipt. So these are the meaning of revenue receipt. The amount that has been received or receivable by business in its normal course, that is received normally and regularly, it is known as revenue receipt. And yes, selling something on OLX, that is capital receipt, because we do not do it regularly. We will not do that regularly. So capital receipt which are not revenue in nature, which are not regular in nature, that is known as capital receipt. So if I am selling my laptop, it is not regular. I will not do that on regular basis. So that is capital receipt. Okay, Harshdeep, so you can see recorded session. So revenue receipt, it is received regularly. Capital receipt, it is not received regularly. So this is the meaning of receipt. Now coming on to expenditure. So what do you mean by expenditure? Expenditure means kharcha. When we spend our money in purchasing something, that is expenditure. When you purchase chips, when you purchase chocolate, or when you purchase grocery or vegetable, you are spending money, and that is known as expenditure. So it is the amount spent or liability incurred for acquiring asset, for acquiring goods or acquiring services. When you acquire goods, when you acquire services, then it is known as expenditure. Yes, rising star? So जब भी हम कोई सामान खरीदते हैं, कोई सर्विस लेते हैं, तो या तो हम कैश पे करते हैं or you pay later. When you acquire some asset, when you acquire some service, then you either spend money or you pay that amount later. For example, I am getting the services from doctor. Now either I will pay the fees immediately or I will pay him later. So if I will pay him later, that is my liability. If I will pay fees later, then that is my liability. So expenditure means it is the amount spent or liability incurred for acquiring asset, for acquiring goods or services. If these expenditure must have some profit or not. You will get benefit from expenditure, not profit. You will get benefit from expenditure. Bill, it is not a receipt. Bill is not a receipt. You are not receiving money. Bill is not a receipt. So, now expenditure, they are again divided into two types. Capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Now expenditure also, your kharcha, it is also divided into two types. Revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. So what do you mean by revenue expenditure? Expenditure that is paid regularly. expenditure that is paid regularly, like salary, like rent, we paid regularly, so that is revenue expenditure. Capital expenditure means that is not paid regularly, that is not paid regularly. So revenue expenditure that is paid regularly, capital expenditure that is not paid regularly. Because you are getting service, you are getting goods, so it is beneficial for you na. In return of liability also, you are getting goods, you are getting services of doctor, so that is benefit for you. So revenue expenditure, it is that expenditure which is paid regularly. Also, the benefit of revenue expenditure, it gets expired within the accounting period. जो revenue expenditure का benefit मिलता है, the benefit of revenue expenditure, it will expire within 1 year. वो 1 साल के अंदर खत्म हो जाएगा. Because if you are paying salary, then you have to pay it again for the second month. Only then you will get the benefit. If you are paying salary, if you are paying rent, then for the next month you have to pay it again. Only then you will get the benefit, otherwise you will not get. So revenue expenditure, they do not provide a long-term benefit. They provide short-term benefit that will get finished within 1 year. And the examples are cost of goods sold. We purchase goods, we purchase raw material, that is revenue expenditure. We pay rent, we pay electricity, so these are revenue expenditure. These are revenue expenditure. If you are buying something every once in a month, if you are purchasing it every month, then that is also revenue expenditure. If I am purchasing toothpaste every month, that is also a revenue expenditure. It is every month, it is regularly. सैलरी टू ओनर में क्या फायदा मिलेगा? आप ओनर से काम नहीं करवा रहे, फ्री में सैलरी दोगे ओनर को. सैलरी दे रहे हो तो उसको काम करने के लिए दे रहे हो ना, वो आपका काम कर रहा है, आपको बेनिफिट हो रहा है. ओके, coming on to the capital expenditure. Capital expenditure means the thing, the expenditure that is not paid regularly. The expenditure that is not paid regularly. So purchase of asset, purchase of machinery, purchase of land and building, they all are capital expenditure. When we purchase asset, that is capital expenditure, because you will not purchase it regularly. आप एसेट बार बार तो नहीं खरीदोगे, डेली तो नहीं खरीदोगे, so these are capital expenditure. So what is capital expenditure? It is the amount incurred to acquire asset. It is the amount paid for purchasing asset, and this will increase your earning capacity. So capital expenditure, they are not paid regularly, like purchase of asset, and you can purchase asset which will increase your earning capacity. Yes, so there will be class tomorrow. So capital expenditure, it is for purchase of asset because it is not paid regularly. So when we purchase asset, we do not purchase it regularly. Now we are done with the revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Now we are done with the capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Coming on to the next term, that is deferred revenue expenditure. Coming on to the next term, that is deferred revenue expenditure. What is a deferred revenue expenditure, guys? So deferred revenue expenditure, it is same as fictitious asset. It is same as fictitious asset, so I am not going to explain it. Deferred revenue expenditure, it is fictitious asset. So it is revenue in nature. It is revenue in nature. Advertisement. We pay advertisement expenses regularly, but they are written off in more than 1 year. We will write off them, we will record them in more than 1 year. So deferred revenue expenditure, it is exactly same as fictitious asset. These are expenses of huge amount which are to be written off in more than 1 year. So now tell me, is the receipt and expenditure clear to all of you? Is the expenditure and revenue clear to all of you? Receipt clear to all of you? Rising star, why are you comparing profit and fictitious asset? Aman Gulwani, please leave the session. So what is deferred revenue expenditure? It is the expenditure of huge amount which we will record by dividing into years. Deferred revenue expenditure, it is expenditure of huge amount, so we will not record it at once. We will divide it and then we will record it in different year. We will divide it and then we will record it in different year. Because it will give benefit for more than 1 year. It will give benefit for more than 1 year. Therefore, we will record it. We will write off it in more than 1 year. क्योंकि हर इन्वेस्टमेंट की कॉस्ट ज़्यादा नहीं होती और हर इन्वेस्टमेंट का फायदा आपको 4-5 सालों तक नहीं मिलता. डेफर्ड रेवेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर फिक्टिशियस एसेट सिर्फ वो खर्चे होते हैं जो बड़ी अमाउंट के होते हैं और जिनका फायदा हमें 1 साल से ज़्यादा के लिए मिलता है, और हर इन्वेस्टमेंट का फायदा आपको 1 साल से ज़्यादा के लिए नहीं मिलता. ओके राइजिंग स्टार. Now coming on to income, guys. What is income? What is income? So income is the profit earned during the accounting period. Income क्या है? It is the profit जो आपको business से हुआ है. आपने business से जो भी profit कमाया है, that is your income, and it is calculated as the difference between revenue and expenses. It is calculated as the difference between revenue and expenses. For example, आपका खर्चा हुआ, your expenditure is ₹1 lakh and your income, your revenue is 1,50,000. आपको पैसा मिला कितना? 1,50,000. और आपने पैसा पे कितना किया? खर्चा कितना है? 1 लाख. So in this you have income of 50,000. There is profit of 50,000. So income, it is the difference between revenue and expenditure. It is the difference between expenses and revenue. So what is income? It is the profit earned during the accounting period, and it is calculated as the difference between revenue and income. It is calculated as the difference between revenue and expenses. In other words, excess of revenue over expenses is termed as income. No, we do not have sums on this. So in other words, excess of revenue over expenses is known as income. Now, what is expense, guys? What is expense? So we all have done revenue expenditure. We all have done revenue expenditure. So revenue expenditure is also known as expense. Revenue expenditure, no pre-issue, we are not taking ACCA courses. So please don't write it again. So we all have done revenue expenditure. The expense that is paid regularly, that is paid on normal course of business. So revenue expenditure, it is also known as expense. Revenue expenditure, it is also known as expense. So expense, it is the cost incurred for generating revenue or a monetary measure of income. So it is incurred, it is paid for generating revenue. हम क्यों पे कर रहे हैं? ताकि हम पैसा कमा सके. So expense, it is paid, it is incurred for generating revenue or a monetary measure of input, so that we can generate input or we can generate resources. And it include salary, wages, it include payment of salary, it include payment of wages. So I have told you in revenue expenditure that rent, salary, they all are revenue expenditure, and that is also known as expense. So revenue expenditure is also known as expense. Now coming on to prepaid expenses, and I have already told you prepaid expenses, we have already covered this, that prepaid expenses, it is the amount of expense which is paid in advance and the benefit will be available in the next year. So prepaid expense क्या होता है? वो खर्चा जो आपने पहले से पे कर दिया है. It is the expense which is paid in advance and the benefit will be received later. Like we do prepaid recharge in our mobile. हम मोबाइल का बिल पहले से भर देते हैं और बेनिफिट बाद में मिलता है. So your mobile recharge is also prepaid expense. It is paid in advance and the benefit is received later. राइजिंग स्टार, हमने टैक्स की बात अभी करी है, नहीं करी ना तो इंतजार करो बच्चा, इंतजार. प्लीज हैव सम पेशेंस गाइज. आई नो आप लोगों को सब कुछ आता है, बट प्लीज वेट फॉर मी टू कम टिल दैट टॉपिक. हम लोग सारे टॉपिक करेंगे लेकिन एक क्लास में सारे पॉसिबल नहीं है. तो टैक्स अभी नहीं आया है तो इंतजार करो. Now coming on to outstanding expense. Now coming on to outstanding expense. What do you mean by outstanding expense? तो कभी कभार क्या होता है, कोई खर्चा आपने बेनिफिट तो ले लिया किसी खर्चे का, you have taken the benefit but you have not paid that expense. आपने किसी एम्प्लॉय से काम करा लिया, आपने किसी एम्प्लॉय से काम करा दिया लेकिन उसकी सैलरी पे नहीं करी. So it is an expense that has been incurred, that has become due, but it has not been paid. वो खर्चा जो incur तो हो गया, जो due तो हो गया, लेकिन आपने पे नहीं किया. So outstanding expenses means those expenses which are payable, which are payable. So since the amount is payable, आपको वो पे करना है, therefore it is a liability of the business. It is a liability of the business. So what are outstanding expenses? These are those expenses which are payable, which are not yet paid. जो आपने अभी तक पे नहीं करे हैं, उन्हें कहते हैं outstanding expenses. Like in COVID time, most of the parents, they are not paying school fees because their business is not going well. So if you are not paying school fees, that is outstanding expense. That is what? That is outstanding expense. So these are those expenses which are outstanding. Rising Star loan is a liability. It is not outstanding expense. It is not outstanding expense. It is liability. So it is an expense. It should be an expense which is not paid. It is expense which is not paid. Now coming on to the profit. So guys, we will do this later because now we don't have enough time. So we have 3 more terms left: profit, loss and gain. We will do this in the next session, but for that you have to revise this session. So we will do these terms in the next session. So guys, now we will continue this session in the next class in Basic Accounting Terms 3. So now stay tuned for the next class, guys, and tell me, can you start your CA preparation now? What do you think? Can you start your CA preparation now? What do you think? So we will continue this Monday that can we prepare for CA right now or not. So we will do this on Monday that can we all prepare for CA or not. Now if you want to attend more such live classes with me, then for that you all can join me in Pro subscription, because for all your learning needs we have Pro subscription. So guys, in Pro subscription you will be getting all these benefits: unlimited access to live classes, all subject will be covered in detail. सारे subject detail में cover होंगे. All these sessions will be conducted in English. You will be getting India's best teachers. All your doubts will be solved in the live session, and you can learn from home from any device. So you will get all these benefits in Pro subscription. Keertana, I'm not getting it. Thank you guys. Thank you for all the compliments. So the price for 1 month Pro subscription is 2,900, but right now we are providing 10% discount to our YouTube students, after which you have to pay only 2,610 rupees. So guys, what are you waiting for? Go and take your Pro subscription right now at flat 10% discount by using my promo code SCPRO, and I would love to see you all in Pro subscription classes. Now, if you have not joined us on Telegram group, then go and join the Telegram group soon so that you can receive all the notes on time. And if you guys have not subscribed the channel yet, then please take a moment to subscribe the channel so that you can receive all the updates on time and you can see our live sessions. Now, see you all tomorrow in the next session. Till then, make sure that you hit the like button below and you share this video along with your friends. So thank you everyone for watching this session. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. So make sure that you give it a big thumbs up. And take care of yourself, guys. Please take care of yourself and your family member and stay safe. So bye everyone. See you all in the next class.